them lightly. You know that. They won't beat the brakes off them guys. And so I just and that place would pop. And it was a great atmosphere. Huh?
It was, absolutely. Duke beats North Carolina there, number 1 seed. North Carolina's on the wrong side of the bubble right now.
How about North Carolina up at half and they still don't cover? Cooper Flagg in injury trouble. Went to the bench with 2 fouls. Went to the bench with 3 fouls.
Yeah.
Although Shire, he played him more than most. He wasn't that typical. No, we're going to rest for a little bit, but he didn't sit the whole first half with 2 fouls. Did he pick up his third early in the second half?
I want to say it was before the first TV timeout in the second half.
Okay, yeah. And so
pretty early.
he was limited, and I got to tell you, the young Duke team. I was in game. It looked like there might be a share of the title for Louisville and Duke. Not the case.
Houston did what Houston does, which is hammer out a hard-fought, I won't say ugly win because, well, they're all pretty.
Houston at Waco.
That's a hard game to win.
No. Baylor needed that game. Yeah.
Houston has lost 1 time since the beginning of December. You think about that. That's through the Big 12. Not 19-1 in any conference schedule is a haul. You got to win a lot of road games to go 19-1. They haven't lost in a long time. St. John's, one of the better games of the day on Saturday.
Yeah.
They've lost 1 time since January 1st, going on the road to get an overtime win against Marquette. So both of those really hard-fought games. Those are good teams that are going to be really hard outs in the NCAA tournament. Houston and St. John's.
Absolutely, and both can go through their scoring droughts. And it's part of what Seton Hall. They picked up Richardson from went across the water to from New Jersey to New York, from Seton Hall to St. John's, and he's their guy, Charlie, that has the ball in his hands in those critical spots. He got a little New York playground moves in him. Sometimes his shot can be a little inconsistent, but he can get his shot off at any time he wants. And he does share the ball as well, but he's got the ball in he's that guy for them. And I agree. I was about to mention St. John's as well, but St. John's at Marquette, tough game. And they still come out the winner. They hit a buzzer beater, put back.
Yeah.
And
in overtime.
Yeah. I mean, just and Baylor was really, really game. That was one of Baylor's better performances. I thought that Houston was in some real trouble there. They were able to, I think they won but didn't cover, right?
They won by 4.
Okay.
No, I don't think.
That was close.
It's pretty close.
It was close to the number.
Pretty close. Tennessee and Florida both get wins at home, and Kentucky goes to Missouri and got a very nice win.
The line movement on that.
Yeah.
From 3.5 to 6.5. So when I gave it out as part of my 5-pack on Friday at Rufino's, I went I said, I was 3.5. It was there, and it was 6.5 everywhere. and Kentucky was the public team.
Yeah.
It was one of those pros versus Joes, and that was. Well, they're losing by about 7, about the first 8 minutes, and then they just go on a roll, and it was double digits the rest of the way for Kentucky.
You walked in and you asked me what's going on with the game. I said Kentucky's playing some defense. They were getting steals in the back.
No. So on the way to the Queen, I was listening to it was Missouri, Kentucky. It was one of the home teams. I couldn't even tell, but they went to their halftime break. I think it was Missouri, and they said, "Man." For 2 teams that score, and this is supposed to be a shootout, there's a lot of defense being played today. So the team, the media that calls their games regularly knew that this was an out of character game for both teams.
Arkansas with another great game on Saturday.
2 bullets at the end, huh?
Yes, very much. Mississippi State got a good look, and then they got a good putback look and missed both of them. I think Arkansas's got a little bit of slack in the rope now as far as the NCAA tournament. They could lose a game in the SEC tournament early and still get in. Lenardi's got them in the last 4 buys right now. And then, of course, the other game was Oklahoma and Texas. This was bubble special in the SEC. Both of these teams desperately needing a win. Oklahoma gets that win. That coupled, both of these teams finished 6-12 in the SEC, but Oklahoma has the edge, not just because of the win on Saturday, but because of the three big non-conference wins that we've been talking about for the last several weeks. One over Michigan, one over Louisville, and one over.
So they finished 6-12.
6-12 in the league, and right now Lenardi's got them as last four in.
Yep.
And Texas in the first four out,
correct,
along with North Carolina. That was a very important game for Oklahoma to win, because look, man, non-conference wins are fine, but 5-13 in league play would have been awfully hard. I think 6-12 is going to be hard enough to defend, but 5-13 would have been too much.
Charlie, so the four bubble teams, the four Calipari's not in trouble, but Moser, your boy from Texas, and White from Georgia. I mean, they had to get. We don't know, but they could be in trouble if they don't get in. Texas, they're talking like this thing is done already. But yes, but how about Georgia for the widow?
Mm-hmm.
How about them? In the emotional letdown spot, they never let up. They won and covered all four games. They followed up the Florida win with a double-digit win in Austin, with a win on the road in Columbia, South Carolina, in a cover, and then a double-digit win on Saturday against Vandy, a team that's going to the tournament. Georgia's in and safely in. Then it gets to Arkansas. I agree with you. I think they have a little cushion. They had a 2-0 week. They might be right there with Texas if that ball goes in. That putback from Mississippi State. Yeah. It was that close, but they got it done. And then Oklahoma, Texas. And what's the thing about Rodney Terry? How can you have a lottery pick and not get it? I can remember he scored 39 in a loss at Arkansas.
I'm laughing because Rutgers has got 2 and 8.
No, they're not even close. but Trey Johnson's a talent.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See his shoot night Saturday against Oklahoma?
I don't remember. No.
We throw a lot of numbers, and sometimes people can be overconvoluted. This is one number that everybody can associate. He was 0 for 14 from the field.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
So Oklahoma caught a break there too.
Yeah, they did, and it wasn't like they ran
14. This guy's unbelievable. He was 0 for 14,
and it's not like they ran away with the game either.
No, 76-72.
Yeah, A&M beats
fun stuff though, man.
A&M beats LSU 66-52. LSU finishes the regular season 3-15 and 14-17 overall.
Another one of those decent first halves, and then maybe the second half they buckle down, the stronger team, or LSU wears down. Your theories are open, but we've seen a similar path in these games. LSU's obviously an inferior roster when it comes to some of these matchups, but whether it's not taking LSU as seriously, but we've seen this script before. The decent first half and then pull away and not competitive in the second.
Somebody asked me what their record was against the spread in the first half. I said I have no idea. They end up finishing 6-11-1 against the spread overall in the league. I don't know what their first half against the spread was.
Probably a little bit better than that, huh?
I would think.
I would think so.
Maybe as much as 100.
I think it would probably be close to first half.
The smaller line has gotten demolished on the glass for most of the second half of the season. It was again they get out rebounded about 15, 2-1 on the offensive glass. So that's kind of where that is. Where we are is at Walkons here in Brusly. Come on by for any of the games, championship week during the NCAA tournament. If you're a draft beer connoisseur, man, this is a utopia, because about 4 dozen draft beers are on tap here. They rotate all of your traditional favorites, plus they rotate out the seasonal favorites here at Walk-On. So come by and get a cold brew and watch the games. Always, we know the menu here almost by heart.
But this is the time where we got some new menu items.
Adding some things,
So kind of been trickling them out, and so we're excited about that. So burgers, po' boys, again, some of the walk-on specialties. I mean, that Cajun press is something that you like, Charlie. They even got the tuna bowl, and let's see, fresh eye tuna. So got a lot of things for a lot of different people. But yes, indeed, signature drinks or the glasses of wine. But anyway, it is walk-ons week for championship week for us. This is our first of 3 stops to the walk-ons here in Brusly today, and over on Burbank Wednesday and Thursday for championship week. And this is a place because then they're going to raise up the garage doors. And so you have the best of both worlds, open air. And then also think, man, the audio system out here in the patio and all the TVs is a really good setup here at Walk-Ons in Brusly as well.
Live at Walk-Ons in Brusly, live at lunch. 104.5 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Whether you're talking lunch or dinner, P.F. Chang's has got you covered. Upscale ambiance, top-notch service, and an Asian-inspired meal leaving everyone happy. You know where to find them. In Town Center off of Corporate Boulevard, look for the giant golden horse. It's P.F. Chang's.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes. We'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Recall alert? Due for an oil change? Brakes louder than the kids in the back? Bayou Ford can get you in for service today. You wait. Same day service. Schedule now at BayouFord.com. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Say yes to the perfect ring at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Getting married this spring or summer? Ready to get engaged? We've stocked our showcases with hundreds of engagement rings and wedding bands to wear and compare. Plus, we're offering 24 months of no-interest financing. Shop an extensive collection of loose diamonds, engagement rings, and wedding bands at the Lee Michaels Diamond Event.
3 days only, March 20th through 22nd. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry at the Mall of Louisiana.
It's a new year. Aren't you ready to finally get the IRS off your back? Hi, I'm attorney Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. We've helped so many people figure out their IRS issues, and they always tell us they wish they'd called us sooner. Friends, the IRS isn't going away. Matter of fact, they're ramping up their efforts. So now's the time to call the Bryson Law Firm and let us get between you and the IRS and make your life better. If you have wage levies, bank levies, tax liens, or unpaid taxes, call the Bryson Law Firm and let us get out in front of the IRS and devise your best resolution plan. IRS problems are legal problems. So call the Bryson Law Firm. We're local. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm. The Bryson Law Firm. Results may vary. LSBA filing number LA2316155.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information, great rest, find them online at supremerice.com.
It's the best of all worlds. Great cigars, great cocktails, and an amazing atmosphere. It's Don Juan Cigar Bar. Located in Town Center, Don Juan is the perfect place to enjoy a great cocktail, beer on tap, a wide selection of scotches and bourbons, and of course, a fine premium cigar. Sit back, relax, let the time fade by. Don Juan Cigar Bar. Great cocktails, great cigars, the good life. Check them out online, DonJuanCigarBar.com.
Check engine light, rear clink, truck giving you a shake. Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in for service today. You don't have to wait. Same day service. Schedule now at BayouCDJR.com. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Relief Windows. Experience, quality, and service. ReliefWindows.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Walkons and Brusly on 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com, as well as LouisianaSports.net. Those are available. New Handycast coming this afternoon. We'll drop it. Me, Dan Canterbury, Doug Thompson will analyze the weekend in LSU baseball as they get ready for conference play starting this weekend. We're here at Walk-Ons in Brusly. We got some football news to get to in the second half of this show, but I wanted to do this real quick as we work through college basketball. Kevin Keats was fired over the weekend at NC State. He had just finished his 8th season, and last year They were in the Final Four. Okay.
It's unbelievable.
So
I've never heard.
I've
never
never
happened.
heard of it the very next year, but I'm going to come up with something that's kind of close here in a minute. But you tell me, Jimmy, what do you emphasize? I'm trying to be fair here with what Keats did. They went to the Final Four last year in his 7th season. In his first season, they finished 3rd in the ACC. After that, they never finished.
He went to the tournament that year.
They went to the tournament that year. They lost in the first round. Okay, that was
his first year.
His first year. Okay, he picked up from Mark Gottfried, who had had a decent rate. 2 Sweet 16s in 6 years for Gottfried.
Yeah, but some. Those were better than anticipated runs and wins in the tournament because they barely kind of got in.
And so was this. What do you? Everybody remembers NC State made the Final Four. Do you remember what they were?
No, they had to win the conference tournament to get in.
Yes, they were 10th in the ACC last year. So what do you put more on the fact that he was able to get that team to the Final Four last year? He went to the tournament 3 times in 8 years. They lost in the first round.
Everything
the other
counts.
2 times.
Everything counts
everything
for the Final
counts.
Four appearances. I don't care if you had to. I mean, Jimmy Valvano's team had to get into the tournament by winning the conference tournament. Did we slight their national championship season?
No, you don't slight the Final Four. You don't
know how
slight
many
the
good coaches have never been to a Final Four?
A lot.
A
ton. And
I mean, your boy Painter had Gene Katie never did. It's been produced since 1980.
That's right. And
until last year.
That's a great. It's a great comparison. Now, they finished 14th this year in the SEC, in the ACC. His overall percentage in conference games, as we talked to, won 45% of his conference games over 8 years. He had time.
I would have given him. I would have given him one more year. But I think the Final Four run is worthy of another year. I'm a little surprised they made this move.
So I thought, what would happen? How would we react to this at LSU? Well, I can give you a comp. It's not an exact comp, but there's a lot of similarities to him and John Brady. Brady was at LSU for 10 full seasons, won 44% of his conference games. Keats won 45% of his conference games. Brady took them to the Final Four in 06. In 07, they finished last in the West. And then the next year, he got about half the season. They fired him when they were 1-6. Now, John went to another Sweet 16. Keats never got that far besides that. And I think, to be fair to Brady, the first 2 years almost shouldn't count very much. Now, this was back when the probation really meant something. The scholarship reductions really meant something. He was handed a really, really tough blow. So if you take him through the last 8 years of it, there were 3 times that they finished first in the West and 2 times that they finished last. It was with John, it was up and down a lot. Okay. The good was really good, and the bad, they had injuries, they had probation, and things like that, was really kind of tough. But they made either the NCAAs or the NIT 6 out of the 8 years after that probation was done. So, like I said, it's not an exact comparison because Brady was given the beginning of the next year, but their winning percentages in conference play were comparable over a similar length of run.
I mean, when you see things that are unprecedented, I mean, it's just never happened before. Final Four to fired. I mean, it just doesn't happen.
No,
we see the NFL a little bit, or or even the NBA. Of course, I mean the players run that, but they, coach of the year one year to fired the next.
Sure, that's not terribly uncommon. Now,
but the thing is, now what the other coach, is Will Wade. Is that a natural landing spot for him?
Well, he spent time at Clemson. It's not all that far geographically out.
No, it's in the same league. It's a
region.
Similar.
Now, that's been a
level
minute.
Athletic
He's
department.
coached at 3 different places since he's been back there, but I don't. His name was one of the names that came up very quickly. If Texas doesn't get in the tournament, I expect and Terry gets fired, I expect his name to come up there. I'm not saying he's going to get the job.
I don't think,
but I expect his name to come up there too. He's among the hottest of the mid-major coaches. If we're
Yeah,
calling
I
that a
don't. I think
mid-major.
Texas is a little bit level of pride to their administration, their school, to where I don't know if they want to go with a guy that's publicly stained, no matter what you think of it. And every time he was better. It's more of a chance now than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's the thing is more about Texas. If Texas opens up, everybody wants to get in the SEC, okay, or the Big Ten. I mean, you got all kinds of coaches in the Big East with their eyes looking around. The ACC is not as attractive as the SEC or Big Ten jobs right now. And we
found that out last year with a much more attractive job in Louisville. Okay, when Dusty May had to make a decision between Michigan and Louisville, and he picked Michigan.
That's right.
Yeah. And that had something to do with the league.
And even more so with the revenue sharing that's
got it
coming up.
straight.
So they think
They
the
got
SEC is going to be fine with their budgets, but they don't know about the ACC.
Well, they got last week the settlement came down between Florida State, Clemson, and the ACC on the staggered revenue share. So they're okay for now, but their revenue distribution is nowhere near what those other two leagues are. But for the moment, at least Florida State and Clemson are not suing them anymore. So they do have a little bit of clarity, but their revenue base is still way behind.
Yeah, the clarity's fine, but it's still that's another you're shortening the piece of the pie that NC State gets.
Yeah.
It's just they're not will now can Will go and hustle on his own at NC State. What maybe other coaches can't. I mean, he doesn't know anybody really there right now, but there was a time where he didn't know anybody here.
Mm-hmm.
And how did he do a good job of kind of getting some of that budget going?
In a hurry.
Yeah,
in a hurry.
Immediately. So, I mean, he's I think an SEC job. I'm not quite sure about the Texas job, but if Texas hires somebody, they're going to hire maybe what if they went to Vanderbilt coach? You know what I mean? What if they went to another coach in?
But if you went to Missouri and hired Gates,
very good. That would open up. So it's a job that would open up maybe that will wait. If a Texas is there. But a lot. I talked to Paul Stone, Texas alum today, and he certainly monitors the beat writers for UT, and they think it's tough because they don't think even just with a win, they get to win like 2 to get in is what they feel. And they're ready to move on. Terry, if you remember, Beer got in trouble at the beginning. Yeah. He was suspended, never came back. So he was the interim coach. That interim year, they went to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, that was what got him the job.
So they had to give it to him, but they still didn't have similar Ogeron situation. I mean, they really. That's fine. He had a great run. He built up but they really never wanted to go that route in the first place. But anyway,
winnable games for them against Vanderbilt in the first round, and then they would play Texas A&M in the second round. Winnable games for Texas.
Don't forget our friends over at Los Reyes Mexican Grill. I was over there this past week, Saturday. Hit the Queen on the way home. Hit Los Reyes. Had my fajita chicken tacos with the asada guacamole and fresh jalapenos and nice margarita, and watch the ball games and talk to Mr. Kyle and Scott and Nasser and the great staff they over have. Miss Blair, she's a little injured right now. She got a Mardi Gras injury, but she's back.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. So, but just always
the
a good
steps
time.
are steep,
It's a cool, laid-back atmosphere, but also attention to detail with the service. It's right across from Mike Anderson's. And then when you get hit with your bill, you don't get sticker shock at some places. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, fresh Tex-Mex, and all the great service in a really cool setting. We were over there last week in the open air edition with their patio seating on Lee, just off of Nicholson, across from Mike Anderson's.
Live at Walkons in Brusly, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Thibodaux store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux. You're getting those home improvement projects going this spring. Let the experts at the Thibodaux store help you out, because it's a lot easier than following a YouTube video when you can actually ask questions. Plumbing supplies, electrical supplies, lumber delivered out of the Pierre Part store, and so many deals that are available online right now, ThibodauxStore.com, whether it be pressure washers, tool kits, gardening supplies. If you're getting ready to start planting, get your gardening supplies out. You get them at the Thibodeau store. Many of the items are available for free delivery on the website. You can also, if you're going to the website, check out a large variety of the grill, including the big green egg cookers. They got those for you at the Thibodeau store. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau. If you're going down the coast fishing, huge supply of fishing gear and some unique cypress furniture as well. Thibodeau store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games. Just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
For service you can feel, you gotta call Capital City Comfort.
Spring is here, and the experts at Capital City Comfort want to guarantee your comfort with a new energy-efficient Rheem HVAC system. This spring, take advantage of special financing and expert installation on all new units.
For service you can feel, you gotta call Capital City Comfort.
Visit capitalcitycomfort-br.com.
Sparked by imagination, creativity is fueled by the arts. Shell's mission is to make communities where we do business better places to live. By supporting the arts up and down the river, Shell is helping creativity thrive. From the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival to the Arts Council of Greater Baton Rouge and the LaFon Performing Arts Center in St. Charles Parish, Shell is the rhythm of Louisiana.
This is Charles Haniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency, lower your monthly bills, and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
When we started GMFS Mortgage here in Baton Rouge 26 years ago, do you know where we wanted our headquarters to be? Here's a hint. We've never moved. That's right. We started in Baton Rouge. Our loans are originated, processed, and underwritten in Baton Rouge. Every step of the mortgage process happens here in Baton Rouge. So when you're ready to buy, build, renovate, or refinance, please check out GMFSmortgage.com and choose GMFS Mortgage of Baton Rouge. We are your local lender.
NMLS number 64997 is an equal housing lender. Mortgages originated at 7389 Florida Boulevard, Suite 200A, Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70806.
Feeling off your game? Low T might be the culprit. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has your back. Revitalize your energy and your mood. Let Goodwood help you get back to peak performance. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Jake and James are Trash Rangers. Switch to Trash Rangers today and pay as little as $13.95 a month for residential trash pickup. Go to trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Turnaround services, specialty welding, Action Industries, innovation in action.
Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. Three best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
Troy Macker joins us right now to recap the gambling weekend. And Troy, first of all, how was the handle for the fight? We thought it might be a pretty big handle for such a tight line for the main event.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure where it ranks across, UFC events for the year or even going back to the beginning of 2024, but I can tell you that it was the most wagered on event of the weekend at Bet Rivers by a pretty decent amount. We took more money on not just the whole UFC event, but the main event, Herrera versus Ankalaev. We took more money on that fight than Celtics Lakers, North Carolina Duke, Auburn Alabama, all the big events that were taking place, even the Arnold Palmer Invitational total event. We took more money just on the championship fight. To a point that we discussed Friday, because it was such short lines on both sides, would that, get the public in it. And I think really in the hours leading up to the fight, that's when a lot of the casual gamblers bought in. And when you see a price on, the pound for pound best fighter on the planet, Alex Ferreira, at only minus 125, it's pretty tantalizing offer.
There you go. What about the college basketball, man? They had some good games over the course of the weekend and some impactful games. I mean, and then you had like Duke, North Carolina, Alabama, Auburn, Missouri, Kentucky, St. John's, Marquette, and some others. Where was the most of the action when you have such a full card? But anything that stuck out?
Yeah, well, you wouldn't be surprised to learn that Duke, North Carolina was our most wagered on game. We took the most tickets on any college game on that one. And there was a slight win for the sports book there. Auburn, Alabama was actually a slight win for the public, and I think that's because a lot of people like myself were on Alabama to cover on the road. It was, a pretty large number considering, Alabama was one of the 5 best teams in the country. I believe it was, 8.5, maybe 7.5. I would have, handicapped it around 5.5. But that shot obviously by Mark Sears, that would turn the tide because it probably would have been a big win for the sports book and if it had not fallen, just because we took a lot of money on Auburn money line. It was part of a lot of parlays, and then it was still the big conference stuff, even though there were some impactful conference tournament games. The Sunday game between Michigan State and Michigan ranks in the top 15 most wagered on games. Same with Kansas, Arizona. I will say I was a little bit surprised Michigan wasn't higher up. It was a standalone Sunday game. Obviously the little brother rivalry. Michigan State is playing as well as anyone in the country. Michigan's obviously ranked. It's in our wheelhouse in terms of region. So, I would have figured that would have cracked the top 10 most wagered on events of the weekend, but it was just outside at number 13.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it got an 11 a.m. start Central Time, but it was the only game, high-profile game at that time. Nebraska and Iowa came on at Fox, and they half an hour earlier, but that's not really going to challenge it. And damn it, Troy, I mean, Michigan State, how many and now have they covered in a row? This was no contest early. I mean, they smashed Michigan. Michigan got it down to 11 a few times, in the
They
second
never
half.
got it after the second TV timeout. They never got it back in single digits.
Yeah.
The rest of the day.
Yeah, it was a comfortable cover for the hot, and I mean they got to just be betting Michigan State blind the last 4 or 5 games, huh?
Yeah. You needed to, and I can't tell you to continue to do that because everything changes. And this is the conference tournament week for the power conference. It's very tricky because I throw most of the trends out the window, and I'm big at tracking trends, following trends to figure out where the edges are. And you can't really do that now because it's all neutral site games. Some teams have motivation, issues, whether or not they need to unload the clip in the conference tournament if they're already in, especially there's some teams that, have injuries or don't go deep. So are they going to try to exhaust themselves for a conference tournament championship when they're safely in? So this is a tricky week we're about to embark on just because a lot of the things we've learned over the last month or 2 months go out the window.
Troy, how many teams? I was wrong on the Auburn. I liked Auburn minus the points. I thought they would go house them pretty good. Alabama, to that point, really hadn't shown me enough grit, toughness, certainly emphasis on the defensive side of the court to compete on the road in this spot. They not only competed, they were the better team. They deserved to win in this game, even though it came down to a buzzer beater. Very surprised, even when Auburn came back, took the lead by 5, that where Alabama immediately responded. You got them as one of your teams that you think can win it, and how many do you have that you think can actually rip off 6 wins in a row and win a tournament?
If you're talking about Alabama, I do think they can make the Final Four. Just because, even though they're not as prolific of a 3-point shooting team as they have been in past years, you need experience, pros, coaching, and guard play to really have success in the NCAA tournament. And I think those are all things that Alabama has. They have Mark Sears, who's a pro. He's also very experienced. He is also a guard. He's a very good guard, one of the 3 to 5 best guards in the country. They have a really good coach in Nate Oates. Their pace of play is good for the tournament. And I think the last 2 games, the Auburn game and the Tennessee game, those are really good, experienced games. Both very tight games, came down to a buzzer beater. Very few teams in the country are going to go through that over the last week of the season before the conference tournament. So I do think Alabama can make the Final Four. I don't know about winning the whole thing. I think you look at 3 to 4 teams from the Southeast Conference: Auburn, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, Duke, obviously. And then it's a pretty steep drop off. Do I think that, Michigan State could? win the national championship? I don't know. I'm concerned about their pace of play, and yes, they can stop anyone, but in a tournament, if you get down 6 or 8, you need to score 6 or 8 real quick, and they just don't do that. They do have athleticism. They do have depth. I do like what they've done over the last month and a half, but right now I think it's, if you were to offer me like SEC plus Duke or the field, I would take SEC plus Duke in a heartbeat.
Troy, we got the beginning of championship week. We got 2 bids going out tonight. The Sun Belt and the SoCon. In the SoCon, you got teams that finished 3rd and 5th in Wofford and Furman. The Sun Belt is among 2 of the 4 teams that ended up winning the league's regular season title, Arkansas State and Troy. Both of them pretty tight lines. Any early reads on the 2 bids going out tonight?
Yeah, well, the Sun Belt one is interesting for me because, you look at it, it's a 3 seed versus a 4 seed in the final, but I believe the top 4 seeds tied for the regular season title. They were all 13-5.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's really hard to peg them. The team in the Sun Belt that I've liked this season, who I thought has performed the best, is Arkansas State. And while they're the 4 seed, they're 1.5 point favorites. They're ranked a little bit higher in KenPom. But I will say, and this has nothing to do with betting, I will never bet against Troy. They're my name. I will ride with Troy until the bitter end. And then Wofford Furman, it's really tough because they're 2 very similar teams. They do like to shoot the 3. They're very well balanced. The SoCon is at the top of the SoCon with teams like Chattanooga and Stanford and Furman and Wofford. They're very, very similar, and they're all very good. I don't really have a beat on which team I'd give a leg to here. Probably Furman, but it's a very tough call. But I think Arkansas State is the best team of these 4 championship teams tonight.
You'd be happy to know Troy made the top 25 in baseball this week too. If you follow such things.
Okay, I got you. All right, Troy. Anything else you like? Maybe a major conference, maybe a team that you might add a shot that make a run, or maybe a team that you think you want to fade, or just in general thoughts.
It's one of the good value at teams outside the 1 or 2 seed. And I look at a team, Illinois, who has as high of a ceiling as anyone in the country. They've been banged up, they've been sick, they did not perform well, but they're playing a lot better since that ugly loss to Duke. And you can get them at plus 750 to win the Big Ten Conference. I think a lot of teams at the top are going to pump the brakes. Maryland, they only have 5 guys, really, and they're elite, but they only have 5 guys. Wisconsin cannot play in the second half. Michigan State has been playing so well. Is it going to continue? I don't know. Purdue is up and down. UCLA, no thank you. Illinois, for me, is great value at plus 750, considering, there were times this year when we thought they were a top 5 team. So that's one I would probably stick a claim on. And so I'm really excited about that. And, if I had to be confident with the other one, it's Duke. You're not going to get any value, minus 360, but they are light years better than anyone else. I would probably place a bet on that simply because no one comes close.
Some of the straight bets, Duke and Auburn versus the field, or the SEC versus the field. Any thoughts there?
I mean, I like both of them. I would probably take the SEC versus the field, just to cover a little bit more ground. I think Auburn's the best team in the country, but, and maybe it's because we see them lose, but they're losing to teams in the conference, and this is historically the best conference maybe ever. So, and losing on a buzzer beater at home and overtime against your rival is tough. I still think they have the best player in the country. They're the best team in the country. I love Bruce Pearl. I would just want to cover a little bit more ground and give me Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee, and obviously Missouri, Kentucky. But give me the top 3 teams in the SEC plus Duke, and I would stake good money on that.
Follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Macker, Machir. Troy, I know you're a college basketball enthusiast. We are as well. We're going to be in spots we can watch the games all week long for championship week. So looking forward to it. Walk-Ons week. That's right. We're going to be at Walk-On Sports Bar today, Wednesday, and Thursday here at Brusly at Baton Rouge. Thank you, Troy. Good luck to you this week.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Don't forget our friends at Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown. You're on Golf Consensus Picks, brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown. Gave it a hell of a run for 2 days. Shane Lowry, what happened? What happened on Saturday?
2.5 days. He got to the turn okay. After that back now.
Oh, yes, indeed. But anyway, don't forget our buddy Dana Brown, the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Both Charlie and I have used Dana's team of specialized attorneys at different stages of our lives for different reasons, and never hesitate to recommend them to friends and acquaintances around to get in similar situations. Never a charge for that initial consultation. We'll let you know if you are entitled to more, if your rights are being infringed upon, or you really don't have a case. Whatever, give you a fair shake and let you know with our trained attorneys. Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 at ocbrown.com.
Live at Walkons and Brusly, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988, a hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988.
Live at lunch. Community banks touch every corner of our lives. They support us as we turn life's goals into accomplishments. Goals like going to college, opening a small business, buying a home, planning a wedding, or having a baby. From your first car to a new life after retirement, Landmark Bank is here for all of life's milestones. At Landmark Bank, we can provide you with various solutions through personal and business checking, savings, loans, and competitive CD rates. Let's get started. Call me, Jennifer Knapp, at 225-719-1578.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
I took control.
I took control. We took control.
This is Chris Medine with Medine's Collision Center. Auto accidents can be overwhelming. Crucial decisions are made instantly, like where to take your car for body repair.
But doesn't my insurance company recommend a collision shop?
It's your right to choose a collision center. Don't let anyone push you around.
Medine's not only repaired my car, but restored my confidence.
Log on to MedineCollision.com and read our latest blog. We are your accident advisors. Remember,
take control. Choose Medine's. Take a swing around the parish to one of Breck's 5 golf courses, 2 championship courses, Santa Maria and Beaver Creek, and 3 courses for the more casual golfers, the popular 18-hole Webb Park, and 2 9-hole courses, City Park, and the newly renovated J.S. Clark. Breck's courses are designed to challenge every level of golfer from beginner to pro. So come and get into the swing of things. Book your tee time online or find a course near you at golf.breck.org. That's golf.breck.org.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Looking for the perfect place to host your next event? Whether it's a conference, a wedding, a fundraiser, or team gathering, Renaissance Baton Rouge has you covered. With 13,000 square feet of flexible meeting space, we'll accommodate everything from intimate gatherings to grand affairs for up to 500 guests. Our expert team is here to ensure everything runs smoothly from start to finish. For your next meeting, event, or celebration, choose Renaissance Baton Rouge, the destination where every detail is perfect.
Picture your dream bathroom. Got it? How about making it happen with David Duvall and One Bath and Closets? For more than 3 decades, David's been remodeling homes with a concentration on the most popular room in your home, your bathroom, whether it's a tub to shower conversion or a complete renovation. The great thing about One Bath and Closets is that David handles everything. One company, one contractor, One Bath and Closets. Check out the gallery of his most recent projects and schedule your free in-home consultation online at onebathandclosets.com. That's onebathandclosets.com.
Need a lift in the bedroom? It's more common than you think. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness is here to help you rise again. With our expert care, you can regain your peak performance. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Jake and James, the Trash Rangers. Do you need one more reason to switch your residential trash pickup? How about $13.95 a month for the first few months? Go to trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Walkons in Brusly on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Going by here at Walkons in Brusly. Great place to watch the games over the next several weeks. You get them here at Walkons, and a huge selection of draft beer, including our seasonal favorites here at Walkons. All right, so we know what didn't happen with Shane Lowry. Max, it looked like Colin Markow for a while there was going to break his 2-year winless streak, and then the chip in at 16 for Russell Henley, and well, that was that.
Yeah, that NBC was late in showing. Of course, they were in commercial when he started his chip shot. But yeah, a little surprise considering that leaderboard. You had a bit of pretenders. You know, I made fun of Tommy Fleetwood on Wednesday when we gave out the picks. I called him a serial loser. Well, you had a lot of losers on that leaderboard going into Sunday. Where Russell Henley, he's been in the mix. He's been playing great golf. He's a top 10 player in the world when you look at him statistically, but he doesn't win. It's been a long time since he won. He had 10 top 10s since his last win. Going into the tournament yesterday, and he ends up getting it done with a kind of a shocking chip in on 16 for Eagle, where he had bogeyed the 2 par 5s on the front 9. It looked like he had eliminated himself once again. Same thing for Corey Connors, another guy who plays well but doesn't win. And so Morikawa, despite the drought, he hasn't won since October 2023. It seemed like he was the best caliber player that was going to end up going away from things, and he just didn't quite put it away. He was in the lead, felt pretty comfortable most of the day, but he needed to go out and get it, and he just didn't do it. Even par for the day was below average for the way the course was playing.
Lowry was fantastic on Thursday and Friday. He comes out of the gate on Saturday, bogey, but it looked like by the time he got to the turn, he had righted himself. He gotten himself back to even. He was either on a share of the lead or one back at that point. I'm trying to remember which one. And then his game went to pieces. I don't know why. Maybe you do, but I felt really good about him about halfway through the round on Saturday.
He looked like he was really comfortable on the course, Max, and just, a veteran player like that, it's golf, it's tough, but bogey to start, and just shook up the whole day.
Yeah, and it was a bit strange because it was a bit of everything. Literally lost strokes off the tee, on approach, putting, just across the board was all out of sorts. Like you said, started with a double, but started with the 2 bogeys, but had 2 doubles on 11 and 13, which were real shockers, especially on 13, where he really made a mess of it.
It's going to be a big week for basketball, obviously, and the new NFL year starting. But we're going to players.
Players.
All right, so
we'll major.
Have some of that later this week. Hour number 2 straight ahead from Walk-Ons in Brusly, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lunch. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street and now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
For nearly 50 years, Gulf Coast Office Products has been Louisiana's trusted leader in office technology, helping businesses in every industry streamline efficiency. As an official partner of the New Orleans Saints and Pelicans, we're committed to delivering top-tier service with flexible leasing options and customized invoicing. With over 100 dedicated employees, we have the expertise to keep your business running smoothly. Call for a free analysis at 225-756-2644. Gulf Coast Office Products, your workforce efficiency lifeline.
This is Ben McDonald for First South Farm Credit. If you're looking to buy or refinance land, you need to make First South your first call. First South's been financing rural land for over 100 years, so they have the experience you expect from a land lender. And with flexible terms for up to 30 years and competitive rates, they can build a loan package that's right for you. Whether it's 20 acres in St. Francisville or 120 acres in Mississippi, make First South your first call when financing land. Visit firstsouthland.com.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street and now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Water is water, right? Not when it's Evermore. Smooth tasting Evermore water is Mother Nature's masterpiece. Evermore is natural artesian water. Maybe you want a healthier lifestyle, a high-end athlete who wants better hydration, or a parent who wants something healthier for their kids. You want Evermore. EVAMOR. Evermore. Available at great local retailers.
Technology, a modern blessing, but a curse when issues arise. Rev Business is your human touch in the digital world with personal support and meaningful solutions to your real-world challenges. We are a local team who will do whatever it takes to keep you up and running. Sign up for internet, hosted phone, and security with our no-risk 90-day guarantee. For internet, hosted phone, and security, experience the difference of working with Rev Business. 90 years of connecting Louisiana. Visit letsrev.biz.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Electricians, want competitive pay and a family-owned company that values you? Boudreaux's Electrical Services is hiring. Power Louisiana homes with Generac home standby generators. Call 225-300-9389 or apply at boudreauxelectrical.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Walkons in Brusly on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at the Brusly Walk-Ons, live at lunch, enjoying the great weather here today over in Brusly. Max, the basketball team.
That's right, baby. Going to Lake Charles.
Yeah, I was asking. We're gonna confirm it just to be sure, but I was here a year ago when Brusly was in the semifinal. A great crowd here. If you didn't make it out to Lake Charles, and so Brusly's back again. They're the 5 seed. They're taking on the number 1 team, Wassman, 4:30 on Thursday. So we'll confirm it here in a little bit, but I think this will be the place to be. If you're not making it out to Lake Charles, they should have the game on here.
College and high school basketball here at Walk-Ons in Brusly. And again, a huge selection of draft beer here, about 4 dozen different ones on tap.
The menu items, new menu items. We had the ribeye sliders
Yes.
over at the Burbank location last time we were there. Pepper Jack boudin balls. They've got those over here and available now at all Walk-Ons locations. The Cajun seasoned pork, rice, and pepper jack cheese. The warm turkey melt, sliced turkey, melted Havarti, sriracha aioli, lettuce, tomato, and a wheat bun. The Havarti turkey burger. That's with the caramelized onions, Havarti cheese, pepper jack, spring mix, garlic aioli, and tomato and wheat bun. And then the Mardi Gras salmon. That's right. The Mardi Gras salmon is available over here as well. So a brand new salmon dish that we have over here. Good stuff. Exciting. Good stuff.
Yeah, the NFL new league year starts on Thursday, so teams making a flurry of moves, trades, cuts, signings, restructures of contracts try to get themselves cap compliant, ready to head into the free agency season. The Saints over the weekend, as expected, restructured Derek Carr's deal. Same song, second verse. They just moved a lot of the money in the future years to clear them up some cap space this year. I'm not going to bore you with the numbers. We've been through all of this before many times. It's going to mean that Carr's going to carry a cap hit next year, somewhere around $69 million. So they're going to have to restructure it again. And you know the whole deal. The new news is that the Saints made a trade this morning for defensive tackle Davin Godchaux, who, of course, was at LSU and prepped right down the road here at Plaquemine High. Had a terrific career at LSU and has been a very good pro. He's been a starter for the last 4 years for the New England Patriots. So there's a few things here. First of all, Godchaux has primarily been a nose tackle in the NFL. He's been a very good run-stopping nose tackle. He's not much of a pass rusher, but he has been a very, very good defensive nose tackle against the run. This indicates, obviously, the Saints are going to be playing a lot more odd fronts, which is something that Kellen Moore talked about when he hired Brandon Staley, so that's not a big surprise either. The draft compensation that the Saints sent is minimal. The 2026 seventh-round pick is, that's almost a whatever. It's almost kind of a throw-in on a deal. The Patriots, who are in a complete rebuild, did this to shed some salary. The seventh-round pick is whatever. Godchaux is due $5 million in salary, which the Saints are going to have to restructure that contract because that's what they do. In a vacuum, is this a good pick? Is this a good trade? Absolutely. Is Davin Godchaux going to be better than any seventh round pick you're going to get? Absolutely. I mean, there's no question there. This makes the Saints a better team in 2025. But does it ignore the bigger picture, which is Godchaux's 30? Okay, he's got a $5 million deal that you're going to have to kick into future years. You go get a guy that can help you. For the Saints, I don't know how much this moves the needle, but it does tell you that they're going in the direction of the odd fronts next year.
A lot of things going on this past weekend, huh?
Oh, it was a huge weekend. Probably
Myles Garrett, huh?
Myles Garrett, who said, "I'm not playing for Cleveland anymore. Goodbye, Cleveland." To, I want to meet with the owner, Jimmy Haslam. Haslam said, "No, I'm not meeting with you." To the richest deal for a non-quarterback in NFL history. Also, the trade of DK Metcalf from Seattle to Pittsburgh was one of the biggest deals of the weekend. Not necessarily.
What you think of that?
The Steelers have been looking for a receiver for better than a year. They tried to trade for Brandon Ayuk last year. They tried a receiver for a while, and they finally got this guy's a number one receiver, and they immediately signed him to a 5-year contract extension. So this feels for Pittsburgh something that they've been trying to fill for a long time. This takes some of the heat off of Pickens, and if Pickens acts up, they can trade him in the offseason, and they got a number one. They got a number one guy.
They're tired of being too that reliable on Pickens.
Yes, he's probably got this year to get his act together, or they're going to move on from him and say we got a number one receiver. What Pittsburgh doesn't have is a quarterback. So they got to decide that by the end of the week. And here are their choices. Jimmy, you're going to love this. They can go back with Russell Wilson,
Aaron Rodgers, or Justin Fields.
Yes.
Who'd you take? Is Wilson? Is he a better teammate in Pittsburgh than he was in Denver?
He seems to have been. I mean, we're not in that locker room, but he seems to have been. Fields is probably going to be the most expensive because he's going to require a multi-year deal.
No. He can't. No.
And then
he's had enough starts now too, Charlie, where he's.
And if you're going to start throwing the ball down the field, you bring in DK Metcalf to throw the ball down the field. Okay, so who throws the ball down the field the best out of this group right now? To me, it's still Russell Wilson. Okay,
over Rodgers
by an eyelash. Okay, at this stage of their career. But what kind of contract do I have to sign into? If I sign Aaron Rodgers, it's probably a 1-year deal.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers fits the whole Pittsburgh Steeler.
That's the real question. Does he fit that culture
No, no, not at all. And we didn't know if what Wilson did, and at least, how much was on Wilson that late season slide.
Some, but Pittsburgh was just
They're winning with smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, they've won in a lot of situations. I know Tomlin takes all the heat for not getting. It's been a long time since they won a playoff game and all that stuff, and he just kept them in the middle of the road. But he coaches up what he has, and he has done that throughout his career. If you're trying to win next year, you're trying to get over that hump. You've been a playoff team, but you can't win it. Does Aaron Rodgers have one more run left in him? He played fairly well the last 6-7 weeks of last year. You bring him in on a 1-year deal, and then you kind of decide a year from now what you're going to do, or do you bring Russell Wilson back? It's not a slam dunk call for me. I would probably bring Wilson back, but it's close. I wouldn't sign Justin Fields to a multi-year deal. I'm with you on that one. I think that yes, there's still some upside, but
one bit of progress of throwing in the pocket.
I wouldn't hitch my wagon to his star. I would go with one of the vets on a short-term deal, and I would probably stay with Wilson, but it's close. Or
what's Wilson going to cost you this year?
I would say you could probably get Russell Wilson on probably a 2-year deal that's in the Baker Mayfield range, somewhere around $30 million a year ish, which for a veteran starting quarterback is market value or below that. Or do they make a big splash? And they've got enough money to go sign Sam Darnold if they want.
The Raiders get Pete Carroll getting his old quarterback.
He got Geno Smith back. That's the Raiders and the Saints are very much got a lot of similarities. Seattle is doing what Saints fans would wish the Saints would do, which is, listen, is Geno the worst quarterback in the league? He's not, but are you going to win anything with him? No. Okay. DK Metcalf's physical prowess is great. His numbers are good, but he's now getting Justin Jefferson money, and he hasn't to this point put up Justin Jefferson numbers. They are saying, okay, we're not putting all our money there. We're going to release guys that have meant a lot to the franchise. Tyler Lockett's meant a lot to that franchise. He's been a really good player and a really good locker room guy for a long time. They're like, hey, Tyler, we love you, man, but you're past your prime. It's time to go. They're resetting. Now, are they going to go sign Sam Darnold? They don't have a quarterback either right now after they traded Geno Smith. The Raiders get Geno Smith. Is he better than O'Connell last year? Is he better than Gardner Minshew? Yes, absolutely. But if you're the Raiders, are you going to win anything with Geno Smith? I mean, are you going to really win? You're going to win more games than you did last year, but are you going to win anything of significance? Are you moving forward with him?
It's possible to win a playoff game with Geno Smith.
Yeah, it is. It is.
The defense isn't bad.
Who's better right now at this point in their careers? Forget about what teams they play for. On a practice field in the middle of nowhere in a blank jersey, who's better, Geno Smith or Derek Carr? You see what I'm getting at? The Seahawks traded Geno Smith away because while he's better than what they've got on the roster, they can't. And they're 2 games above 500 with him as a starting quarterback. Okay, which is very similar to what Carr's record is with the Saints. I think it's exactly 500 max, or maybe a game or so. But you can win with him. You can win some games, but you ain't gonna win no championship with him. I mean, what are you building towards? What are you trying to accomplish?
I get away, and what it might have to do with the rest of the supporting cast. Although their overall effectiveness is very similar, as you point out, their styles are completely different. And Carr is a pocket guy. I mean, and he throws a better ball than Geno Smith. Geno Smith, though, is certainly way more athletic. And maybe with I
find he's run a little bit less. No, he runs more than Carr. No
we're
question.
Comparing,
yes,
to Derek Carr.
Yes, more than Carr. No question.
Yes, he moves way better than Derek Carr, and so he might be able to when some protection breaks down, he might be able to create on his own. Man, Derek Carr, when he had protection before the Saints, which that offensive line unit was so suspect going into the year, but was playing good early. When he's protected, he can throw it. I don't know if Geno is kind of gotten that same type of distaste and loathe from the fans. I mean, that's
no, he has.
Derek Carr had it in Vegas. He has it in New Orleans.
Yeah.
They don't like him. And Geno is more of a, he's frustrating because he can light it up some days and he can stink it up some days. I mean, that loss at home to the Rams was all on him. I mean, he was so bad. And then sometimes he can go to Detroit and throw for 400 yards.
So I would just want to bring that up. You mentioned Detroit. Last year, one thing that we followed very closely was Geno indoors was incredible. Now, Seattle, of course, outdoors, not a good fit, but now he's going indoors.
Yeah.
That could be a better fit with Pete Carroll, an indoor track at home.
And Seattle is a place that does have some rough conditions sometimes. So he had a good game in the Atlanta game when they won that. That was indoors as well. So
if you look around the league, this is what's frustrating as a Saints backer. You say, okay, well, Seattle realized we've hit a ceiling with what we have here. We could stay here. We could probably win 8-9 games next year, maybe get into the playoffs, but that's it. We're going to try something different. I don't know what
I think Las Vegas is at a point where they just want to be 9-8
and you got a 73-year-old coach who's not, in this for 10 years. Like, I want to win now.
Was Geno Smith better under Carroll than the new coach there?
The numbers suggest that there wasn't a ton of difference. His QBR is a little bit down, but not a lot in this past year. So I don't know there was a big difference.
Well, he should be getting better with experience, not going backwards.
Yeah,
the supporting cast is saying
he's 34 years old now. I think you've seen probably the best of Geno Smith. I don't expect him to get a lot better.
Geno Smith had better weapons there than Russell Wilson.
Yes,
they upgraded. Wilson was kind of by himself when he was still
at the end. From the point that Marshawn Lynch retired, then he had when he had Marshawn Lynch, they had a running game.
Of course,
So after he retired, I'm with you.
We're on the same page.
This is the other frustrating thing. Over the weekend, Josh Allen took a new deal. 6 years. $330 million. We get numb to these astronomical sums of money. The thing was, Allen left money on the table. He left money.
Did he?
He'll be making $5 million less a year than Dak Prescott.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so his per season average is behind Dak Prescott.
He wants to win.
He wants to win, okay? This is similar to what Tom Brady used to do. Drew Brees at the very end did in New Orleans. Allen is taking less than market value, okay? His cap figure as opposed to Prescott's cap figure, it's the same amount of money that Joe Burrow's getting, that Trevor Lawrence is getting. The difference is the cap went up 24%. So you're taking up less of your team's percentage of the cap now. And Allen, who could have gone and easily asked for $70 million a year, says, I'll take 55, go put a team around me. And Derek Carr says, I ain't taking a pay cut.
And Charlie, you buried the lead a little bit. Derek Carr, sure, they extended him, but there's been reports now that they could have looked to part ways, and the Saints were the one to stop it. The Saints were the one who wanted to bring back Derek
You're
Carr.
right. I didn't mention that again. We mentioned it last week because this is a really nice restaurant that we're here right next to a brick wall, and I don't want to go beat my head up against it anymore, so spare me. We're right here with these nice bricks, and I didn't want to bleed all over them. But, yeah, they could have potentially made it. Carr was, into making a move, but no.
Am I still going 6 feet under before Loomis is going?
I don't know.
Wavering.
I'm wavering on that.
Okay, good.
I like your health, Jimmy.
I mean, there you go. That's a pleasantry out of you today on a Monday.
I like your health.
Well, Walk-On's week is just, the effect.
Many years.
The
of
impact
health
on Hanny at Walk-On's week is making, huh?
Please,
My gosh. Yes, indeed. That's right. Walk-On's week for championship week today here in Brusly. Wednesday, Thursday at the original on Burbank. We're looking forward to hunkering down and getting into some conference tournament action as we get deeper into do we have day games tomorrow? In conference tournaments.
Oh, yeah, we got conference tournament games every day.
No, day games.
Oh, day games. Let me check my schedule here real quick. Yeah, we've got
okay.
Big 12
starts at 11:30.
Oh, Oklahoma State in
Cincinnati.
ACC at 1.
Yep.
The rematch. Okay, yeah. So there we go.
SEC starts on Wednesday at noon.
Okay.
And LSU plays at 6.
So we'll be at Mike Anderson's tomorrow, and then Walkon's original on Wednesday and Thursday, and back at Rufino's on Friday. So when we finalize our March Madness schedule, we think it's close, but we don't want to promote until we have it absolutely done. We'll let you know about that as well. We also want to remind everybody about our friends over at Total Diamond Performance. Total Diamond Performance with their new facility at Burbank and Gardere. Tournament ball is underway. There is no doubt. Tournament ball is underway, and group lessons are a great way for the kids to fine-tune their ability. Ages 7 to high school level, hitting and back speed classes. Also ages 7 to high school level defensive classes as well, available year-round. So best way to reserve your spot is Nick at TDPBaseball.com. For instance, the hitting and bat speed classes are designed to increase rotational power and core strength while also refining swing mechanics, improving adjustability of the swing, and understanding hitting approach. The program will be a blend of dynamic and traditional hitting drills, PVC progression, med ball training, and core exercises. That's right, Nick at TDPBaseball.com. Do pitching lessons as well, so that's available. Coached by Jacob Doyle, so they're always a good place to fine-tune your youth league player at Total Diamond Performance in their new location at Burbank and Gardere.
Also, during this segment, as we've been talking about this, the Giants have reached an agreement with former Saints cornerback Paulson Adebo. We'll get the details on that during the break. Live at Walkons and Brusly, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, because this deal's for a limited time. $149
for tax prep that's $149 or less. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology.
See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Hey, do you love beef? I mean premium Angus beef. Sagrera Farm sells the whole sides and quarters straight from the farm, ready to fill your freezer with tender, flavorful ribeyes, fillets, strips, brisket, ground beef, and a lot more. I want to introduce you to Louisiana's own Sean Sagrera of Sagrera Farms, a hidden gem just 30 minutes north of Baton Rouge. What's Sean's secret? Mating genetically superior Angus cattle and then ensuring that every day in the life of his cattle is a great one. Happy, healthy cattle, finished on grain, dry-aged, 45 days, creates consistent and predictable, flavorful beef. When you take a bite of Sagrera Farms beef, you'll know that this is not some mass-produced afterthought. So if you want the best, and I mean the best in Angus beef, go online to sagrerafarms.com, or better yet, call Sean right now at 225-719-1723. Sagrera Farms.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance a home? At GMFS Mortgage, we make it easy because we're local. Our underwriting and processing happens right here in the Baton Rouge office. That means faster approvals, smoother closing, and real people who understand your needs. For over 26 years, we've helped our neighbors in Louisiana achieve the dream of home ownership. Visit gmfsmortgage.com to get started today. We are GMFS Mortgage, your local lender.
GMFS. NMLS number 64997 is an equal housing lender. Mortgages originated at 7389 Florida Boulevard, Suite 200A, Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70806.
At Custom Colors Body and Paint, we're excited to have Will Rapp and Ian McKnight on our team. They're continuing the tradition of exceptional service that Billy Rapp and Pete McKnight began back in 1987. Custom Colors, located in the Industrial Plex off Seagan.
Jake and James, the Trash Rangers. Do you need one more reason to switch your residential trash pickup? How about $13.95 a month for the first few months? Go to trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing.
ParishRoof.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Walkons in Brusly on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Today's show also brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners when it comes to retirement. Those two situations are alike, so let Coastal Capital Advisors work with you, as well as your business partners and tax professionals and your legal team to make sure all of your goals are realized no matter what your age or your financial situation. Coastal Capital Advisors will devise a lifetime plan for you. I know because that's what they've done for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online, coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, member FINRA SIPC. The news coming quick in the NFL. I did like the way that they posted this tweet. I like Ian Rappaport. He said, the Giants are signing standout cornerback Paulson Adebo. Is he a standout cornerback? Was he just a good cornerback? I seem to remember a lot of penalties. I seem to remember a lot of penalties, but look, good player. Somebody you would have, liked to have kept. I don't know about
who's writing the headline here.
No, that's a tweet. It's an ex post. Ian Rappaport. Well, is very, very solid with his information. I don't know that standout is exactly the word I would. Hey, you know what was going on Saturday when I was sitting on there to watch before all of the games had started. There was an NFL Network screen. Okay, before all the live games started, and they were replaying. They were doing spotlight games of potential free agents, and they were showing the Saints game against the Vikings, the Minneapolis Miracle.
I saw that,
and so because they were highlighting Stephon Diggs. So I didn't want to watch the end, obviously, because I've seen the end of that horror movie too many times. But I was watching the comeback. Saints were down 17-0 in that game.
17-0.
Came all the way in the second half and came all the way back to obviously take the lead and almost win that thing. And I was watching it. I was like, I won't say I was getting into it, but I was interested. I'm like, I remember watching this game. I remember being on the edge of my seat. I remember grinding, come on, Saints! They got a chance here. They win this game, and they go to Philadelphia next week. They could win that game. They could make the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
I was living and dying with that game, just trying to get it to the end when they got. It's been a long time since I cared about a Saints game like that. It's been a long time.
Yeah,
and I just watching that brought the memories back. I used to really, really care about this thing.
But that was before the NOLA.
That was the year before the NOLA no call.
Yeah.
And I cared obviously all through 19, and I cared through 20. And I was curious at the beginning of the Jameis Winston era. I was like, okay, maybe Sean Payton can fix this guy. Yeah. Maybe there's a reclamation project. But it's been several years.
My just kind of giving up on the Saints, until they make that's recent.
Yeah,
I mean, heck, I was completely wrong, man. I thought they had a chance 2 weeks in. I really did.
We all did, and the win in Dallas seemed significant at the time.
And it just, but there's, it just there's just not many front office people that can have this type of track record. They keep scoring this. Everybody knows who's in 7th, 8th, 12th, 32nd in salary cap.
Yeah,
there's a scoreboard in this. It's not opinion. Is it a good deal? Yeah, is this a good move by the Steelers? I don't know. Well, you got opinions. That's a scoreboard.
Right.
And everybody knows it. And you can't be in that type of shape and be hamstrung year in and year out and survive it. And it has, and we know about, maybe we're a little closer to the Saints, we know, but they've fallen into that Dallas Cowboys, the old Washington Redskins, the Cardinals, the Bengals, the Raiders, the Carolina Panthers, fallen into those just poorly run, poor ownership that just makes it so much harder for your team.
And they show, I know I had a little moment of, what do you want to call it, weakness or optimism or whatever, after the season when they're going to hire a new coach, maybe a fresh set of eyes. I wrote a column when they were going through the coaching search. Maybe Mike McCarthy. I know he's not the most exciting candidate, but maybe Mickey would listen to him. No,
he would have it. The chances would be better than Kellen Moore.
And I certainly understand that Kellen Moore doesn't want to come out of the gate 3-14, but it would be what's best for the franchise. Instead, Loomis has doubled down again. You got a contract restructure on Carr, which is going to tie you to a very mediocre quarterback for even longer. You're not admitting your mistake here. You're going to say, hey, listen. And they'll probably win 6-7 games next year against that schedule if Carr can stay upright. You make a move today for Davin Godchall, who's a very nice player, local guy. And even if he wasn't, he's still a good player. But it just pushes another, however many of the $5 million that they're going to push into the future caps on a 30-year-old defensive lineman. I'm not saying it's not going to make them better right now, but what's the deal? We're seeing these deals come pretty quick now. Milton Williams, one of the heroes of the Super Bowl for the Eagles, has signed with the Panthers. The Buccaneers have re-signed Chris Godwin, 3 years, $66 million. So that horrific injury that he had in that primetime game against the Ravens, he is back. So a lot of news in the NFL. In the division, as teams have got until Thursday to get themselves straight. But I'm just trying to see if I've missed anything else here, because some of this stuff is the Paulson Adebo deal is 3 years, $30 million.
Standout corner Carlton Davis, 3 years, $60 million with the Patriots. So maybe he's more of a standout.
Twice as much of a standout.
I would say so,
twice
yes.
as much money.
Where's a Debo rank? Maybe Pro Football Focus grades for cornerbacks.
I don't know right off the top of my head. Maybe Max can find that for us. What do your eyeballs tell you? Is he a $10 million?
I think he's better than average.
Okay, then if he's better than average, he's worth $10 million a year. A better than average cornerback is worth $10 million a year. Did the Saints let Paulson Adebo go because they don't feel like he's worth the money, or did the Saints let Paulson Adebo go because they don't have the money? I would suggest it's the latter. That if they had any kind of cap room at all, they would have kept Paulson Adebo, penalties and all. I know he was one of the more heavily penalized corners in the league, but
2024, 97th of 223.
That's above average. It's just better than, you're better than half. $10 million a year for an above average cornerback is a reasonable, especially for a 3-year deal. I mean, this isn't a 5-year deal.
Tough position to play, man.
It's a very tough position to play. Don't you think that that's a deal that the Saints would have made had they been cap compliant? Anywhere in the vicinity of cap compliant. I know they drafted Kool-Aid McKinstry, who's going to step in now, play along on the other side of Alontae Taylor. So they've got two. I think McKinstry's a starting cornerback in the league. That's okay. But this guy walked out the door probably more so because you couldn't pay him than you didn't like him. That's just me. And I don't think he's, he ain't a top 20 guy, he ain't a top 50 guy. But he's probably a top, I don't know, 75 guy, top 100 guy.
I feel like in the last few weeks of the season, it was kind of discussed. This would probably be his last year with New Orleans. So I don't know if they really were in love.
He at one point he was leading the league in PIs, and then he got hurt. And I don't think he finished the season there, but at one point he was way up there. Just again, I'll ask you, if they had $10 million to spend, would you keep him?
I'm looking at some cornerback rankings before the season. Of course, Sauce Gardner was before. Derek Stingley going into last year was 27th. He made all pro.
Yeah.
Him and Surtain. I mean, they had the best year this year. Why would they be any? He knows he got to be the top two respected cornerbacks moving forward, huh? Like this, if this same list comes out,
they are the
before
top two. They are the top two cornerbacks in the league. Yes.
Where do you put Gardner now after a kind of a?
Just on his season last year, I'd put him outside the top 10 based
on wow
last season.
No,
his last season was
that's
outside.
I'm talking about. What is he right now?
Right now, I would have Sauce Gardner somewhere between 5 and 10.
Who do you have? What two do you have ahead of
Xavier
him?
McKinney, Xavier Howard. I'd have to think about it, but just watching Sauce Gardner the first 2 years he was in the league, then I would say, he's still a top 10 guy. He had a rough year last year.
47th last year.
47th. Yeah, he had a rough year for him. And a rough year for him is still, pretty good.
Last year was his second or third year?
I thought last year was his third year. He's on the same
third year.
Yeah, he's on the same.
Considered the top cornerback after 2 years.
He was, and last year was last year was a little bit
tired of Rodgers crap too.
It wasn't the most fun to be.
He's got to. Hey, Liddy, they're gonna all blame him now, boy. I mean, yes.
We'll see if Aaron Rodgers ends up in Pittsburgh, okay, and he wrecks the culture there. Then I would say hey, Aaron, it's you.
Yes.
We're brought to you by Total Maintenance, AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing. Total Maintenance, your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC heating companies since 1980. Service today, every day. That's been their slogan for a long time, so nobody goes to sleep uncomfortable. Full service staff in both New Orleans and Baton Rouge. Authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daykin, and Ream AC units, Generac, and Cummings generators for all your electrical and plumbing needs as well. In Baton Rouge, it's 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance. We'll take a break. Back here at Walkons in Brusly, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Looking for the perfect ride for your next getaway? Rent a car for the week at All-Star Toyota and only pay for 6 days. That's right. Get 7 days of adventure for the price of just 6. Whether you're heading out on a road trip, need a vehicle for the week, or just want something new to drive, we have got you covered. At All-Star Toyota, we offer a wide selection of Toyota vehicles ready to hit the road when you are. Conveniently located at Airline at Goodwood in Baton Rouge. Visit us today or check out our website at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com for more details. All-Star Toyota. People you know, cars you trust.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Hey, it's Aunt Palmer. I take my home viewing experience seriously. You should too by calling Audio Video Security Solutions. Mitchell Fisher and his local AVSS team can do everything from delivering and mounting your television or surround sound to providing and installing whole home audio, even automated lighting, shade, and climate control. Make your house the place to watch the game. Give Mitchell Fisher a call at 225-439-7920. It's AVSS Audio Video Security Solutions, online at avssla.com.
There's never been a better time than now to get out of those contacts, glasses, or readers. LASIK is one option, but you'll find even more vision correction procedures at the Williamson Eye Center. Learn about all of the vision correction surgery options and which one is best for you with a free consultation. Call 924-2020 or visit williamsoneye.com, where you can even schedule online. Williamson Eye Center, now 8 locations to serve you around the greater Baton Rouge area. Schedule online, williamsoneye.com.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side.
Your business's curb appeal matters, so let Cajun Soft Wash help you make a great first impression. Their expert soft washing safely cleans storefronts, parking lots, and commercial buildings, removing dirt, algae, and grime. Trust Cajun Soft Wash. Certified, insured, and locally owned. Schedule your cleaning today at CajunSoftWash.com.
Ready to take your brand awareness to new heights?
Experience the power of audio and digital marketing combined with Guaranteed Digital Media.
Our radio branding messages resonate through the airwaves, leaving a lasting impression.
Combine this with digital tactics like retargeting, geofencing, and social media to really boost your reach.
Imagine your radio ad complemented by targeted digital ads, ensuring your brand is seen and heard across multiple platforms.
To learn more, visit 1045ESPN.com and click connect. That's 1045ESPN.com and click connect.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our free large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Walkons in Brusly on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Walk-Ons in Brusly, live at lunch, brought to you in part by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. Dr. Michael Goff and his staff done a great job for our family over the years. So if it's neck pain, if it's back pain, things that are impeding your range of motion, or maybe you're not getting a great night's sleep because of some of these things, let them do for you what they've done for us, which is target those problem areas, get you into a program that works, and get you to feeling better. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla. Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. LSU baseball takes 3 over North Alabama over the weekend. Some of the highlights of the weekend. Friday night was kind of a bombs away deal, 6 home runs for LSU in the game. But the bigger story for me was Cade Anderson. 6 innings, and he got up to 92 pitches. Through the first 3 weeks, you had seen Anderson kind of tire a little bit and maybe get hit a little bit. Some of the command evaporated as you got into the 5th and the 6th inning. That wasn't the case this week. 11 strikeouts, no walks. The velocity was still there in the 6th. So he finished it off. North Alabama was run ruled in this game, so they only played 7. Maverick Rizzi came in and got the final 3 outs of the game. 6 home runs for LSU. Like I said, it was kind of a bombs away effort. The second game was the most competitive of the series. LSU won that one 6-2. Anthony Ianson, for the second straight week, came out and got hit in the first inning. And for the second straight week, he righted himself and finished the game strong. Now, last week against Nebraska, it took him 3 innings to get right, and they had fallen behind 5-0 in that game. But the LSU bats came back. They ended up winning the game, and Ianson really settled down. Here it was a lot quicker. After a rough first, he was almost untouchable the rest of the way. 15 strikeouts, the most for an LSU pitcher in 2 seasons. Max, you and I were talking about, why is he not thought of more highly? Because everybody's kind of Anderson's the Friday night guy and Shores is the 6'8" guy. Ianson getting off the bus doesn't scare you, but that slider is for real. And the fastball is not anything that will overwhelm you. It's he almost works off of the slider more.
Yep.
And the fastball is a kind of a gotcha pitch for him. It's good, but it's not upper level. It's about a 91, 92 mile an hour fastball. But when you can work off that slider the way he does, it becomes a more effective pitch. 15 strikeouts, you're missing a lot of bats. And here's what I like best about Ianson. Through 25 innings this season, he's walked 5 guys. That's a really good number. So if you're gonna hit him, you're gonna have to hit him. He's not gonna give it to you.
And his opponent batting average is 186. I know he's given up some runs, but he's settled in the games. I thought he really saved the weekend last weekend with a short bullpen, in Frisco, settled in, managed to get deeper into that game. And so he's pitched more than anybody else on this in this lineup. And yeah, Ianson's been big for them. Absolutely. I guess the question would be, would you rather Ianson, who maybe starts the game cold, or Anderson, who you worry about a little bit more as the game goes on. He kind of hits a wall.
I'm going to leave Anderson where he's at. I think as the weather warms up and as he continues to build his pitch counts, that it was a strong 92 Friday night. The other thing about Saturday's game, Zach Cowan continues his terrific march through the preseason, pre-conference season. Cowan was Wofford's ace last year. This is where he eats, okay? He dominated teams like North Alabama and the Sam Houstons and things like that. My question is going to be, what is his role once they get to conference play? And I suspect it'll be what it's been so far, which is long relief. He's been excellent. The strikeout totals are high. The walk totals are low. He is eating up innings. He works fast. He's a workhorse a little bit for them. He and Schmidt have been the long guys out of that bullpen. They've both been really good. So the questions start next week. Cowan has done it against non-SEC competition for a long time. Like I said, he was Wofford's Friday night guy last year. Schmidt, first-round talent, decided to come to college. He has been very good. What's his, what's his first outing against SEC competition look like? How did those two guys make the adjustment? But I like what I've seen so far out of both of those guys.
No doubt. And then the lineup, Charlie. I mean, the lineup. You've got good questions to answer. You got a lot of players who could get in this lineup from what we saw this weekend. I mean, John Pearson it's a absolute bomb. I know that was a Friday game with a lot of home runs, but Hernandez hit one far as well. It was bombs away on Friday for sure. And you can rotate a lot of guys in right now.
You got 25 home runs, I think, through 17 games. That's a good number. Sunday, LSU got out to a 4-0 lead. They won this thing going away at 11-5, and it was kind of bullpen by committee to finish up after LSU built a big lead. The concerning thing, Chase Shores went 5 innings. He threw 94 pitches. But he gave up 9 hits and 2 walks. That's way more base runners than you want to see against a team like North Alabama. And he only struck out 4. And he's not missing enough bats. That's my concern right now. The velocity's still there, in the mid to high 90s. I mean, 98, 97. But the pitches, some of them seem flat. And right now he's getting hit. He's 4 games back from Tommy John surgery, missed all of last year. So I'm hanging in there with him, but frankly, I had hoped he would be missing. There would be more swing and miss stuff at this point for him.
Opponent's batting 286.
Yeah,
that's not a good number.
That's too high given the teams that they have played.
And maybe that's fine.
Teams at 286 against you in SEC play, I can live with that number. Against these groups, I mean, he's been pitching again in the Sunday games.
Maybe that's okay for a Sunday starter normally, but we expected more out of Shores.
It's okay for a Sunday starter in SEC play. Those are numbers I would hope they would be better at this point. LSU played pretty good defense throughout the weekend. They only made 2 errors. The defense has been very strong throughout the season. And Derek Curio, I mean, I know it's not a big surprise that he has been an excellent player for them. Man, that on-base percentage, that is a sick number up at 588. Excuse me.
Jones slugging 841.
New glasses. I thought it was 586. 588. So all of those numbers are good. LSU's got one more non-conference game before SEC play starts against Missouri. This weekend they play Xavier, who's actually not terrible. A decent Tuesday night game at the box tomorrow. So that's where we're at as far as LSU baseball over the weekend. Full podcast with Dan Canterbury and Doug Thompson. We'll be posting that later this afternoon on YouTube on the Handycast.
So you're a bit of a historian. I was not even a year old when Skip Bertman won his last one. Does this team remind you of any of those title teams? Hate to put you on the spot there, but if in terms of the way they're built,
not yet. This team has the potential to be better defensively than a lot of those teams. That's one of the things that's stood out to me. I'm not sold on Anderson as better than any of those aces yet. I do like some of the bullpen guys. It's a good team. I'm not ready to go there yet. Okay. I'm not ready to go there yet.
New menu items over here at Walk-Ons. It's Walk-Ons week for our championship week in conference tournament action. We'll be here at Brusly today and on Burbank on Wednesday and Thursday. New menu items like the Mardi Gras salmon, hot honey glazed grilled salmon topped with mango salsa and served with broccoli as well. The pepper jack boudin balls, Cajun seasoned pork, rice and pepper jack cheese, the warm turkey melt. That's what I'm getting today. Sliced turkey, the melted Havarti, sriracha aioli, lettuce, tomato on a wheat bun. Also got the Havarti turkey burger. That is caramelized onions, Havarti cheese, pepper jelly, spring mix, garlic aioli, tomato, and a wheat bun. And as we talked about, also the Mardi Gras salmon. So a handful of brand new menu items available at Walk-Ons here in Brusly and all Walk-Ons locations around.
Live at the Brusly Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern.
All right, whenever you're ready.
It's rolling.
This is Charles Hanniger. Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. We continue championship week in college basketball, and we're inching towards the new league year in the NFL. Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson's 11 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology.
See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. Grow your nest egg savings with a great CD rate from Home Bank. For a limited time, you can earn 4.25% annual percentage yield, and you get to choose the term. Pick 3, 7, or 11 months and get this excellent return on your savings. The minimum balance is only $2,500. It really is that simple. Stop by any South Louisiana Home Bank location and speak with a local banker today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Do you have hot concrete around your pool, harsh concrete that hurts to walk on, or grease stains in your garage? We Do Concrete Coatings Louisiana can handle it all. We work with you to not only get what you need, but what you want. Locally owned and family operated with 10 years proven experience with construction and concrete coatings. From commercial to industrial, we do it all with the best warranty, ASTM proven products, and the best prices. Check us out at WeDoConcreteCoatingsLLC.com. We Do Concrete Coatings Louisiana.
Call my dad today, 225-400-3835.
Batter up, Baton Rouge. It's pollen season, and Benny's Car Wash is stepping up to the plate. Prepare for pollen with the Benny's Wash Club, starting at just $17.99 a month. Swing by your nearest Benny's or sign up online at bennyscarwash.com. Benny's Car Wash, proud partner of LSU Athletics.
Jake and James of Trash Rangers. How does $13.95 a month for residential trash pickup sound to you? Go to trashrangers.com for all the info and make the switch today. That's trashrangers.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Walkons in Brusly on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And we're back here at Walk-Ons in Brusly. Championship week continues on tonight. We got the 2 finals in the conference basketball, the SoCon and the Sun Belt. Also, interesting game to me late tonight, Jimmy. I don't know if I'm going to make it up for this entire thing, but San Francisco, who's been playing well
At
late
San Francisco last night
against
good
Gonzaga. They've lost both times to Gonzaga. They're a big underdog tonight. I think 14.5 maybe. But that's one of the more interesting games. And then tomorrow, some of the bigger tournaments start.
Yeah, San Francisco's got a decent roster though. They played. They hung with the Gonzaga. The one they played at home. I'm not ready to. Pepperdine was a big upset last night, so they're like an 11 seed. So St. Mary's gets a really soft semifinal in the West Coast Conference. I'm trying to think who they beat last night again, but it was not good. So San Francisco and Gonzaga are the 2-3 seeds, so they're the seeding held there. But St. Mary's St. Mary's, are they still the underdog? I mean, because Gonzaga's a favorite to win it. Now, Gonzaga fans have made this trip a million times. I think they've been to the final 24 straight years.
That sounds right.
I mean,
when's the last time they weren't the best team in that league?
2000 was their first Final Four team.
Has it been that long?
No. That was.
I thought it was after that, but
yes, it was. No. 2000 was. They lost to Purdue in the Sweet 16 in Albuquerque. That was the other side of the Wisconsin, if you remember, Wisconsin LSU.
Oh yeah.
Gonzaga, they lost.
Still trying to catch a plane in Albuquerque. Yeah, remember that. SEC tournament gets underway on Wednesday. LSU plays Mississippi State at 6:00. Oklahoma and Georgia. That's, to me, that and Texas Vandy, the most intriguing games on day one, because Texas needs a win and maybe more than just a win to get
Funny
in.
you say that, because I was on the podcast this morning that we released, and that's the 2 games that I circled. And Oklahoma is sort from the SEC. So they had 10 that were in, 2 out, and 11 through 14 in the SEC were on the bubble. And they collectively went 7-1 last week, and during midweek and the weekend. And Texas, Oklahoma played each other, so somebody had to lose. But Oklahoma is barely in; it's the last team in of that group, and Texas is the only team out. But they may have to win multiple games.
Georgia could lose to Oklahoma; they're still in, right?
They're safely in.
Vanderbilt could lose to Texas; they're still in.
They're in.
Okay. Arkansas could lose to South Carolina.
Yes,
they're still in. Okay. Mississippi State could lose to LSU. They're still in. Okay. And Texas has got to have a win. Yeah, I agree. The rest of
Oklahoma may not be able to afford a loss
to Georgia. Yeah, those non-conference games come in. If Oklahoma loses to Georgia, they will be on bid stealing watch the rest of the week. That some of these bids that are 1-bid leagues stay 1-bid leagues.
Like you didn't, it helped yesterday. Drake took care of business. Drake would have had a chance to get in that large bid. Bradley does not.
Got to love the Drake. Or do you hate the Drake? Sorry. Thanks to the folks here at Walk-Ons in Brusly. Again, championship week, incling Brusly High School basketball. They go to the semifinal. Tomorrow, we're at Mike Anderson's. We're joined back in the studio for Max and Jimmy. I'm Charles Henniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
When it comes to celebrating